If he retired today, is Luka Doncic a Hall of Famer?
It's a crazy question, man. It's a sick question. It's a sick question. I'm gonna be honest. We're talking about a guy, like you say, is 23. He is, or 24 now. He is 5 years into his NBA career. This guy is a kid in the NBA in terms of where he's at in his career. He has played 330 games, and we are talking about if he retired today, would he be in the Hall of Fame? Now, despite only the 333 or the 330 games played in the NBA, what I will give him credit for is he does have a significant international pedigree, which does help his case. We know how good he played before coming over to the NBA and how much he was highly touted because of that. Not as highly touted as he should have been, because international prospects were not given the love they should have been at that point in time, but that's a whole other story for another day. Although he doesn't necessarily have the hardware to back it up at the top level, he's played very well for Slovenia at the international level and has helped them have way more success than they would otherwise, specifically at the Olympics. But in other competitions, he's come out and he's done his thing. But we're still talking about a guy who's only played 330 games in this league, given a guy who has 4 All-NBA nods, all first team, given someone who's been a great playoff riser so far, but he's only got a Western Conference Finals to his name. He's still only got 5 years to his name. And if he's done today, and if I'm looking at this guy who's played less than 350 games in the league, who's never won a ring, who's never made a finals, who doesn't have a finals MVP, who doesn't have any gold medals at an international level, has to be some higher level accolades for me to put a guy with this little in his playing career into the Hall of Fame if his playing career is done as of today. So based on what I have today on the date of recording, which is July 15th of 2023, no. If we're projecting, yes, of course. But today, no.
Yes. He is absolutely a Hall of Famer. There is no question in my mind that man Luka Doncic is a Hall of Famer. I don't care. He could be 4 games into his NBA career. If you have 4 All-NBA first team selections in 5 seasons, are we kidding here? Of course he's a Hall of Famer. 4-time All-Star. He averaged 27 a game last season. Well, also having the previous experience overseas, being the best player for multiple years. Like, if we want to bring up all this stuff about Kevin Love and his college experience, I'm valuing Luka's overseas experience much more than K Love's, and Luka has a better career at this point in his career. He's played 300, a little over 300 games, a little over 300, and he already has this value, this type of career. If we're projecting, he has potential to be top 5 all time if we're projecting. But if we're talking about today, this very moment, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I'm not going to lie. As crazy as it sounds, it's more of a valid argument than it seems. And the only reason I say that is because I started thinking of some guys that were in the Hall of Fame that you kind of think, why were they in the Hall of Fame? And the first guy that came to mind for me was Bill Walton. And aside from that finals and that finals MVP, you can argue Luka's resume is fairly close. Of course, Bill Walton had more accolades like the MVP, all defensive rebounding champion, stuff like that. But Luka had more All-Stars, of course, 4 times in 5 years, like Justin said. But his scoring total, his assist total, his triple doubles, like what he brings to his team night in and night out, he instantly changed the Mavericks overnight. It's a valid argument. Now, coming back down to earth, no, he's not a Hall of Famer right now, bro. We're not about to do that. As much as I love to entertain the idea and actually look into some people that
Andre Iguodala is a Hall of Famer, but Luka isn't. I mean, come on,
bro. Andre Iguodala is a Finals MVP
and
against
All NBA first team
against arguably the best player of all time.
Against 4 rings, too. You saying 4-time first-team All-NBA against 4 rings.
Where he averaged about 6 minutes a game.
It doesn't matter. He was a integral player to all 4 of those rings. You can say what he averaged, didn't average, but you can't argue with us the fact that he was an integral player to those teams.
I just don't buy it.
You're not buying that he was integral to those championship teams?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I don't buy that Okay, I'm not. Okay, I don't want to argue Iguodala because it's the Luka Doncic thing, but But when
So
we're
you're
looking
telling me right now Luka deserves to be a Hall of Famer over Andre Iguodala
Dude,
now today?
I like literally every single day of the week and twice on Saturdays. Okay.
What the?
That is crazy.
What?
Well, you've argued Andre Iguodala out of the Hall of Fame about 4 times already, and it's a Saturday, so.
The man
4
that
times
was a
on
part,
Saturday.
The man that was a part of one of the greatest dynasties ever, an integral part that won a Finals MVP during the dynasty run. He that guy. Oh my god. Oh my
Man, I didn't even pick Iggy to be in the Hall. That's still crazy. I'm gonna be honest. There's just so much more of a resume and longevity and the peak.
I'm
like
not
you said,
gonna lie.
like
I
Luka's
don't
been
care
great,
about longevity.
but Luka's got.
Wait,
That's
no.
tough.
What?
I don't care about
That's tough.
longevity to an extent. When you have 4 out of 5 years that are so good, like Luka did, I could care less if tomorrow, I don't want to wish this on a guy, obviously, but if tomorrow his career's over, if he hangs up the sneakers, give Luka Doncic the Hall of Fame nod.
Hey, real quick. Jelson's cooking, bro. Because if Luka Doncic's career ended today, career stats.
Hold on.
How many guys would average 27, 8.6, and 8? 27, 8, and 8, even if you're rounding down.
In 5 years.
For
He
their
hasn't even reached his prime.
career.
And
Yeah,
in 5 years, and here's my thing. In 5 years, Iggy won 4 rings. So, come on, man.
Listen,
What are
bro.
we doing?
I'm
In
not.
5
I'm
years,
not
he wasn't even the best
Bro.
player on those years. Like,
I
what are we
don't
saying?
care. He had 4 rings in 5 years. You're talking to me about scoring
Dude,
output of
if
what a
you're
player
a bum
did in
on a
5
team,
years.
I don't care about your championships. Andre Iguodala, well, albeit was
Andre
a good
Iguodala
player.
is not a bum.
No, what I'm
Oh
saying.
my God!
What I'm saying
You
is,
just said a Finals MVP.
No,
That's crazy.
no, you're not.
He
You're
was
not
a bum for that.
No,
ring.
you're not hearing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't value you just having championships completely as a end
He
all
had a
place
Finals
close.
MVP to go
He had
with
one
it.
Finals MVP where he shouldn't have won it. He shouldn't have won it.
But
That's
he
so
did.
subjective. That's subjective. You can't just definitively
Okay, that's
say
fine.
he shouldn't have won
He has
it.
one Finals MVP and nothing else.
Luka doesn't
He's an
have
all-star.
a Finals
He has
appearance.
4 All NBA. He has 4. And look at his team. His team has not been good enough because of Mark Cuban. But he doesn't know the difference between a rock and a boulder. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy too, because
It's
I
crazy.
guarantee you though, if we did a community poll on the channel that said, "Who is better all time, Andre Iguodala or Luka Doncic?" I know who would win.
Luka
I know
Doncic.
who would
Doncic.
win. I know who would win, but it's because of the way you're saying the question. It's not because
Yeah.
Who is better all time?
It's
no,
Luka.
because people will misconstrue that as Luka's full career, and then they're gonna compare it to what
No.
you would have to say right now.
No.
We're arguing right now. We're
Right
arguing
now.
if Luka's career ended today.
Right now, today. His
Do
stats
you think
and
people
his
misconstrue it like
accolades.
that?
Yeah,
His
they definitely
accolades.
would.
But
I don't
on
think
our
there's
Jokic-
a way.
I feel like on our Jokic stuff, they didn't. Like people.
I don't think there's a
when we were talking
way-
about Jokic top 5 and all that. They did. They were like, "Oh yeah, he's only 28, so he has room to grow." So I understand why he's not ranked that high.
Yeah, but like when you're comparing a guy who's only got 5 years compared to a guy who's been around for like 15, like those aren't going to be looked at the same way, and I don't think there's a way to word that properly in a poll
Wait,
to
my-
have people actually consider that properly. That's like only a debate that can be had, not something that you can just ask via a poll.
Yeah.
Because there's no way people just look at Luka's stats and Iggy's stats and be like, "Okay, Luka's the guy."
Okay,
Bro.
boom.
I got
Boom.
them. Both.
He's a
Listen,
Hall
hey,
of Famer.
I got them. I would have them
That's
both as Hall of Famers because Luka's 5-year peak. If we just called it a 5-year peak, right? There's not that many guys that are better, bro. I'm just saying, if you gave me like Luka Doncic or Tracy McGrady all time, I'd probably take Luka, bro. Luka in a guard-heavy league has been
Wait.
top
Is
one,
T-Mac
top.
healthy?
Yes.
No, not what ifs, not what ifs.
No.
Oh,
I'm asking, is
They're-
T-Mac healthy?
I
No,
think
he
he's
was not healthy.
No, I'm asking you. Like, you're saying like what we know of T-Mac, or you're saying T-Mac if he was healthy versus Luka?
What we know of T-Mac.
Okay.
Since
My bad.
like even Luka's one final like conference finals run, like T-Mac's injuries kind of prevented him from even like having that. So, but when it comes to like Luka's peak, I mean, you just got to think career-wise. Rounding is if you round up is 28, 9, and 8. Like that's crazy, and it's a 0.6, so it's a bit of a round up. But even 27, 8, and 8 is still like that's LeBron's career accolades, first of all, or not accolades, career stats, mind you. Plus, in the playoffs, his career playoff stats 32.5 points per game on 47-36 splits. That's mad solid, bro. Not to mention he goes up to about 10 rebounds, or actually 9 rebounds, still 8 assists. 32.5, 9, and 8 for your career playoff numbers? I don't know how many guys are matching that. Not to mention, yes, his accolades aren't the biggest, but I believe he was rookie of the year, right? Yeah, he was rookie of the year. And then 4 All-Star
He's a
appearances, which
four-time
isn't the
All-NBA.
most, but 4-time All-NBA, all first team. Here's some guys who haven't made the All-NBA first team 4 times. Bill Russell, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Kawhi Leonard, Pistons Isaiah Thomas, Jokic, Dwayne Wade, Russell Westbrook, John Stockton. These are these. I feel like these are high-level players.
those
Tell
are
me if they're
some
not high-level
names.
players. Those are some people who have not done what Luka's done at peak-wise. He's been top 2. I've had very large arguments with Devin where Devin has argued to me that Luka Doncic is the best point guard in the league, where point guard is probably the deepest position.
He is the
At
best
that
in the
point-
league.
Okay, so he's the best at his position. How many guys who you can say are top 5 in the league, the best player in the league at their position for a decent sized stretch, at least like 3 years or so? He's been All NBA first team for 4 years. So you could even argue, I mean, I'm not going to say the first year, we'll say he was number 2, just even benefit of the doubt. He's had a good 2 or 3 years as the best player at his position in the league. How many guys have done that and are not in the Hall of Fame?
I just think that with the Hall of Fame player, you need the accolades to match those stats. And the fact that it's been his first 5 years or so, he still needs the time to be able to bring it all together. There's a couple components to having a Hall of Fame resume. That's the stats, that's the accolades, that's winning, and things of that nature. And I think part of the Hall of Fame status that he's checked off the list of the check mark, but I think there's still parts of his career that has to come together, and that's it. Unfortunately, it comes with longevity regardless. So that's why I just don't have him as a Hall of Fame guy yet. I can't do it.
Just as a quick question, and you don't have to think about it too hard. How long do you think, like, would you say like Embiid? Do you think that he would be a Hall of Famer if he retired today? Because he's not gone as far in the playoffs, but he does have that MVP. But he doesn't have the first team selections of Luka. So he has a little bit more longevity, but I feel like Luka's accolades outside, I guess the MVP kind of does sway it. But
Well, I honestly would have Luka above Embiid anyway. So I mean, it's not really much of an argument for me personally.
I just wanted to bring this up because we like to focus on the NBA stuff, and he's had a long career when it comes to professional ball in general. We can talk about how he's a EuroLeague champion, a EuroLeague MVP, EuroLeague Final Four MVP, all EuroLeague first team in 2018, 2-time EuroLeague Rising Star, EuroLeague 2010 to 2020 All Decade team.
Oh, Steph, this is not looking good for your Mr. Outside the NBA,
Like-
Kevin Love, bro.
Like there's
It's not
no
looking good.
like Eurostar Player of the Year in 2019. There's no question he's a Hall of Famer. No
Yeah,
question.
yeah. See, the only thing that sucks with that is that there's a FIBA Hall of Fame for a reason. They don't quite consider the overseas stuff.
I don't necessarily agree with that because it all goes towards the Basketball Hall of Fame, right? If you're a player that was great in FIBA, but the NBA or not the NBA, but the Basketball Hall of Fame for whatever reason does not view you as good enough for that, they will go in the FIBA Hall of Fame.
I have one name.
And
They
you might
definitely
be
do
in both
consider
also,
overseas
but-
stuff. They definitely do consider overseas stuff because Arvydas Sabonis is in the Hall.
Yeah.
Arvydas Sabonis was a dog. We're
Yeah,
not
but
doing
he-
that.
He was never an
He
all-star.
was not. Yeah, he was.
I don't
He's a
care.
FIBA
Dude was a dog. Arvydas was him.
No. Nah.
Arvydas was him. I don't care.
That's crazy.
That's one of my guys, bro. Arvydas is Jokic before we got Jokic.
Okay, that is kind of funny, but I will tell you is that they absolutely do value it because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, as we talked about, and the fact is you could argue he has a Hall of Fame career based strictly off of his NBA accolades, and then you add all of the EuroLeague accolades, and it's like a no.
I love
no.
Luka, bro. I love Luka, but no.
He was on the EuroLeague 2010 to 2020 all decade team.
You guys are.
He
in
was a
denial,
EuroLeague
bro.
I need 3 more
When-
years.
That's
Give me
what's up,
3 more
man.
years
When
minimum.
Luka
Oh
racks
my
up
God.
6 straight first team All NBAs, and you tell me that he's still not a Hall of Famer, what
It's
that's
just
gonna be some
hating.
crazy discussion.
Well,
Did you say 3 years?
We just need a couple more years, bro. That's all.
I mean,
Okay. All right. Listen, there's no convincing you guys. All I'm gonna say is let us know in chat if you watch this after it's posted as a solo video. Let us know down in the comments why Steph and Devin are wrong.